A twisted sense of victory. Tom felt powerful. He, not Jack, held Sarah's heart. Her laughter, once a symphony for another, now played only for him. It was a conquest, a stolen prize. Jack, oblivious and trusting, remained none the wiser. This made Tom's victory all the sweeter. There was a thrill in the secrecy, the stolen moments. Each shared glance with Sarah felt like a rebellion, a delicious defiance of the world. He knew what he was doing was wrong, but the knowledge only fueled his desire. He was a man on fire, consumed by a passion that knew no bounds. Yet, beneath the surface of his triumph, a flicker of unease danced in the shadows. He pushed it down, refusing to acknowledge the guilt gnawing at his conscience. He would deal with it later. For now, he would savor the taste of victory, bitter and sweet on his tongue. The sting of betrayal. Jack, blissfully unaware, continued to consider Tom his friend. He confided in Tom about his plans for Sarah, his dreams of a future painted with love and laughter. Tom listened, a serpent coiled in the garden, his smile a venomous mask. He couldn't help but flaunt his conquest, dropping subtle hints, veiled allusions to his secret affair. Each time he watched as Jack remained oblivious, the sting of his betrayal deepening. It was a cruel game he played, fueled by a twisted sense of power. Tom justified his actions by telling himself that Jack was naive, deserving of his fate. He painted himself as the victim, the one who saw Sarah's true colors. But deep down, he knew the truth. He was the villain in this story, the betrayer of trust, the destroyer of friendships. A family torn apart. At home, Elizabeth, Tom's wife, felt the chasm growing between them. His touch, once familiar and comforting, now felt distant, almost repulsive. He was physically present but emotionally absent, lost in a world where she no longer existed. Their infant child, a fragile life entrusted to their care, received only a fraction of Tom's attention. His gaze, once filled with fatherly adoration, now held a distant coldness. He was a stranger in his own home, a specter haunting the hallways of their lives. The weight of his betrayal pressed down on Elizabeth, suffocating her. She questioned everything, doubted her own perceptions. Was she imagining his coldness, his indifference? Or was this the true face of the man she had vowed to love and cherish? The weight of expectation. Society whispered its expectations into Tom's ears. A man provided, protected, and remained loyal. He was the oak tree, the unwavering foundation upon which his family sought shelter. But Tom, consumed by his own selfish desires, had become a willow, bending with the whims of his passions. He had abandoned his responsibilities, choosing instead to chase after fleeting pleasure. The warmth of his family's love had become a distant memory, replaced by the scorching heat of an illicit affair. He was a man adrift, lost in a sea of his own making. The weight of his actions pressed down on him, threatening to crush him beneath its enormity. Yet he clung to his justifications, convincing himself that he was searching for happiness, for a love that his life lacked. He failed to realize that true happiness resided not in stolen moments, but in the unwavering embrace of commitment and loyalty.